Turkey's special envoy for the normalization of Armenian-Turkish relations, Serdar Kalic, is coming to Armenia to meet with Armenia's special representative, Recipient. According to the Armenian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they will discuss steps for normalizing relations. Recipient told journalists today in the National Assembly that they would talk with their Turkish counterpart about opening the closed border and establishing diplomatic relations.
The main topic is the normalization of relations. The entire process is about opening the closed border and establishing diplomatic relations. The discussions are mainly about this. The principle of reciprocity works here. They meet once in Turkey, then they meet in Armenia. I don't think we should make a big event out of this and hope that if it takes place in Armenia this time, the Turks will come to Yerevan with a slightly milder stance or soften their position regarding the border opening conditional on the normalization of Armenian-Azerbaijani relations. I don't think so.
International relations expert Grigor Balasanyan believes that the meetings will not be in Yerevan but in the border area.
To elevate his role, he has been granted such a high title as the representative of the President of Turkey for the normalization of Armenian-Turkish relations. However, Kilic himself will exclusively deal with the work of opening border checkpoints or the border crossing. And to make an event out of this and say that this marks the beginning of Armenian-Turkish diplomatic dialogue or dialogue at the level of two states, I think it is too early to draw such conclusions.
According to the international relations expert, it is, of course, acceptable for specialists that relations with Turkey should be normalized. In this century, it is not normal for countries' borders to be closed, but in this case, Turkey closed the border, and it should take the first step, he says. Ankara will hardly appreciate our good neighborly approach, the expert believes.
I am skeptical this time too about whether Turkey will open the border. Turkey is playing a very coordinated game with Azerbaijan in the region, and now both Azerbaijan and Turkey seem to have found the Armenian side's weak point and are constantly referring to the border, trying to extract maximum concessions from Armenia.
As it tried to do in previous stages of normalization, Turkey, being one of the first to recognize the Republic of Armenia, was not in a hurry to establish diplomatic relations. It had clear demands: concessions on the Karabakh issue and renunciation of international recognition of the genocide. The football diplomacy in 2008 was a similar example. During the World Cup qualifying matches, Turkish President Abdullah Gül visited Armenia, and then Serdar Sargsyan visited Turkey. A year later in Zurich, the foreign ministers of the two countries signed two protocols for the normalization of relations. The football quickly moved beyond the rules of the political field. Shortly after the signing, Turkey, bringing forward Azerbaijani interests, returned to its previous stance, stating that it would not ratify the protocols until the Karabakh conflict was resolved. The process reached a dead end. Armenian-Turkish dialogue resumed in 2021. About a year after the 44-day war, the institution of special envoys was created. Recipient and Serdar Kalic have already met 5 times. This year, Nikol Pashinyan also made a working visit to Turkey. Seaman Hovanesyan, Stepan Tigranyan, ReOpen Media.